Alright guys, so ICS3U, here's how we use an online Python editor to do coding. If you don't have a machine that has Visual Studio Code or another Python interpreter, it's fine to just use even just a Chromebook if you have one, and you can get started programming. At least for our first couple of units, you'll be just fine for the first few weeks. So from Google, you're just going to type in replit, so replit, Python, and that's just the name of the site, replit, and then Python is the name of the language, obviously. So the first hit here is Python 3. You want to make sure it says Python 3, not Python 2. Python 2 is going away very soon. Python 3 is the standard. So here's Python 3. I'm going to click on it. So it's repl.it. I'll put a link to this site in our documentation online as well. But here we are. So it's divided into 3 sections. And you can sign up. I'm going to highly recommend that you create an account, because if you create an account, all of your programs that you create can be saved to the cloud. And that way, I mean, you will need to save your programs. You don't want to start off from scratch every time. We are going to be very soon working on programs where you work on them for one day. The next day you'll come back and you'll improve upon them and complete them. Okay, so it's divided into 3 major sections. So you can pause this video and sign up. And I'm going to recommend that you use your school Google account to sign up. That's probably the best option. If you want to use your school Microsoft account as well, I think it'll let you do that, but it is tailored towards Google, and that's fine. Keep away from your personal email accounts is my recommendation. That way you can keep all your school stuff separate. Okay, and then when you go to submit your projects, what I'll end up doing is asking you to provide me with a link to your online project, or just a simple copy and paste into a new document that you can attach, and I'll show you how to do that when the time comes. Okay, so getting back to the layout here, the left side where it says files, this is like our library. Right now it says main.py, that's the current program we're editing. In the middle, that's where the program is being edited. So, and then on the right side is what we call the terminal or the output. So basically, we're going to be creating a program in the middle area, typing out some code, and then when we run our program using this run button in the top middle, it'll show the output in the terminal on the right side. So here's an example of our first program, and you can try this out. The print statement. I want to show you that as you start typing, you'll see that it gives you hints. It does hinting, which is really valuable. Any development environment, which Replit is a development environment for Python 3, Visual Studio Code is another one. Both of these will give you code hinting. So when you type in the letter P, it shows you all of the commands that are available in Python 3 that start with the letter P. To some extent, I think there's probably more than, maybe those are just the most popular ones. But PR, and then you can see there's a bunch of them. We're using print, and when you type in the first opening round brace, you'll see that it completes the round brace at the end, and it gives you a lot more information about how to use the print statement. We're only going to be using where it says value. So you can see where it says in the instructions on how to use it, print and then value. Well, I'm going to type in the value, and it's going to be in quotes. Once again, if you use quotes and put something in quotes in Python, it's called a string literal. A string literal is just kind of like a password. Okay. Let's say that you had a website where you had to type in a password. Whatever your password was would be considered a string literal. Another one would be like a username. A username would be a string literal. Maybe it's cool guy 007. Well, there's a string literal right there. String literals can include characters, numbers, special characters. So I'm just going to put in hello world. Here's our first program, and it's all done. And when we want to try it, a nice thing about programming is it lets you try things. So I'm going to click on run, and you can see that in the terminal, it printed out exactly what we had as our string literal. So there's your first Python program. All right, that's enough for this video. I'm going to sign off for now. See you next time.